John?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Mike?
Present.
And Nathan's here, Doug and Rick are excused. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 3, the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Okay. Public input. This is the time and place for discussion items not already on the agenda with a time limit of 3 minutes each. Anyone? Okay. 5A, discussion and possible action in reference to water main update.
So Dave's here from V&K. We're kind of entering the final phase of the water main project, and it's incorporating downtown. So I asked Dave or Eric to show up tonight just to kind of give an overview, just so there's good open communication with you guys. It's a public meeting, so hopefully that people will see it if they go back and view the recording of the meeting, just to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen downtown. So I'll let Dave.
Okay.
Put together a quick drawing. It's a little easier to take a look at this than it is for me to explain it all by description. So, hand this out. There's one small change. We put it together this afternoon that I'll go over, but
Okay.
so they have installed water main up Washington Street and reached the intersection of Main, and that's tore up pretty good. You've probably noticed that from driving through. They've rocked it back. They've also been working on South Washington, and we were hoping to have that partially open at Lincoln, but they had a little bit of an issue there. It's closed at Lincoln, and we're detouring from South Washington coming north on Cemetery over to Jackson and up, back to Business 30, and then people that live on the other side of the street there, they're able to come across on Lincoln Avenue and get over to Jackson Street as well. So that Lincoln Street is open right across the crossing of Washington Street only, so that people can get through there. That should hopefully be done here relatively soon, this week, and they'll get that patched back. When we look at the north side of Business 30, rather than trying to get the intersection of Main and Washington paved, what they want to do is jump over and start on Jackson Street and Market and work their way south to Main, get through that intersection and get that paved back, and then continue south. They want to be able to keep going with water main all the way south of Business 30 on Jackson Street, get all the water main done. That's the last stretch of water main they have. So they want to keep that operation moving. We won't pave Washington Street because they're going to be working over on Jackson. We need to have one route through town. So that's just going to be temporarily surfaced while they're doing that, so we can keep them moving on the water main. They'll get Jackson paved. Once they get that done, they'll flip traffic over there, and they'll come back and pave Washington Street. That gets them completed before it gets too cold, meets the completion date, and keeps everything moving. It'll be a little rough on Washington Street for a short period, just in that last stretch, just off of Main Street. But does give the contractor the ability to keep working on installing water main and not have to hold up until we get all of Washington Street paved before they can continue on Jackson Street. So that's the overview. If anybody has any questions, be happy to go through it. But, we're near the end, a little bit more pain, and then we'll be done with it.
I don't have any
I
questions?
don't have any questions.
We're still running into unexpected things from time to time.
Underground construction has been on, yes, we are. So.
My only question would be, when do you have an estimate on possibly when they'll be in front of the park? Maybe.
It's probably going to take them about a week to get through that north stretch, so probably the last week of September they'll be starting south of Main Street. And they're working in the green space, so they might go pretty quickly there, but I would anticipate somewhere in that last week of September.
We'll make sure that's filled.
I'll have to talk to you about that, because I'm assuming we'll lose parking there for a little bit.
Yeah, but my hope is, especially on nights with stuff going on, we'll make sure they backfill good.
Okay. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. I never really thought about it, to be honest with you, so.
And then we also talked about, everything should be, by their calendar, substantially complete by Halloween town, so that shouldn't impact that at all.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Dave.
okay. Moving on to item 6, public hearings, ordinances, and resolutions. 6A, public hearing for budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year '24. Do I have a motion to go into public hearing?
Motion to approve to go into public hearing.
Motion to go into public hearing. Do I have a second? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are in public hearing at 7:06.
So you have the document in front of you. The explanation of changes are pretty straightforward. The 56,200 in public safety, that's for the fire chassis that was voted to purchase using fire department set-aside funds. So you have to show a budget amendment from set-aside to the public safety side of the budget. 5925 is going to be for ambulance workers' comp and group insurance increases. This, if you recall, is paid by the entities, so we'll get that, whatever increase there is, it's a prorated, we recoup back from the ambulance and the city of Mount Vernon, so that's to cover that. And then there was 11,000 remaining for the cemetery GIS project crossed over from fiscal years. If you recall, that started in the spring, it lasted past July 1, so we had it budgeted, didn't spend it all because they weren't ready for the final payment. Now they are, so we moved that. And as of this being printed, the water project and the well were on schedule at their current spending. We're actually still pretty confident on the water main. The well, we have to wait for the rest of the samples to come back and determine if there's any treatment options. So we may end up having to add this to another budget amendment in the future if the need of that arises. So other than that, we're happy to answer any questions. Christina, did I miss anything?
Nope, you got it.
Any questions, anyone? Okay, thank you, Brandon.
Make a motion to come out of closed session, or not closed, public hearing, sorry.
I have a motion, I'll second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, 6B, Resolution 29-2023, approving budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year '24.
I make a motion to approve the budget amendment for the following that was discussed.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mike?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Sarah?
Aye.
I say aye. All right. Item 7, correspondences. Anything?
Nothing tonight. Other than the email I did send you guys about the Lynn County grant that Historic Preservation received for the plans for the barn. So congrats to them for that and thank them for all their hard work in doing that.
Absolutely. All right. Move on to reports. City engineers report.
Reported on the water main, the only other item I would have would be on the well, and as Brenda mentioned, we're about to try to get some final recommendations to the city on that. Once we get everything compiled, we'll look at any options and costs associated with those, so we can give you a thorough recommendation. Once we get everything pulled together, that I expect to do with the next meeting.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Public Works Director report.
I'll cover some of that in my
Okay. Parks and Rec Director.
Not a whole lot. We start our first games for soccer on Tuesday and Thursday, and then flag football on Saturday. I started registrations for girls basketball last Thursday, so that's going on right now until the end of the month. And then Halloween Town, here in the next couple meetings, we'll do road closures and stuff to get ready for that event. So,
Okay. All right. Thank you. 8D, Police Department report.
Well, I think it's more of an awareness thing for the community. Roundabout construction in Mount Vernon will be starting next week. They're going to be repainting and redesigning a little bit of the roundabout, putting in a turn lane from Highway 1 to eastbound 30, Business 30. and then making everything a one lane in, one lane around.
Okay.
So hopefully a little more efficient and safer passage through, from there. So this might be some slow going while they're doing some of that construction, but everything should be open is my understanding last I heard, so they'll have traffic managed.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Ambulance director's report?
I do not have anything from him tonight.
Okay. Then 8F, fire chief and city administrator's report.
Fire department related, we had the pancake breakfast Labor Day, very successful. Right around 1,400 people came, and that would be probably right up there with an all-time high. We try to go around and get donations from many businesses to donate food and or money to cover the sausage costs and all that stuff. It takes about $3,000 to $4,000 to pull this off, and we usually try to go in real close to even, and we did that again this year. We're probably about 1,000 under. Profit's going to be right around $14,000, so it's pretty incredible for an event in that short amount of time. We have right at 40 members. 34 of the members were present for the event, to include their spouses and children and everybody helping out. So probably a record as far as that goes. To 6 people that didn't show were out of town, so they did at least communicate that they weren't going to be there. So all in all, very, very successful, well attended, plenty of help. Fire department members have done a lot over the last course of the month, especially sauerkraut days. And I think this kind of is the fruit of their hard work. So kudos to all those guys, and it also shows the good morale we currently have over there, and that's a credit to all them. So good work by everybody there. We're also working with different truck manufacturers, coming up with the specs for the slide-in unit. If you recall, for the chassis that was purchased, the association's going to cover the rest of the truck, so they're working at getting different prices from different companies to see what the biggest bang for the buck will be. So that is it fire related, and I'm happy to answer any questions. No? All right, this is kind of encompassing with Travis a little bit. Seeding, watering, stump grinding, there's still a few stumps out there that we need to remove. We still have an open seed window. We're looking to get that, some more of that done. We're also watering. I know Brecken's going to start their hydro seed again now that it's getting cooler. So we'll have to water those areas, so keep an eye open for that. YTT has the plans done for the 2 ball diamonds at the sports complex. They're getting their cost opinion now together, but I do have the plans, so I will be having that in the next packet. We're going to meet out there on Wednesday at the sports complex to go over and look at the north side and south side of the current grass stand and get a plan together. I'm still not happy with the south side, but I mean, we've done the best we can, so I need to get their opinion on how we can do this yet this fall, in hopes that we can maybe play soccer out there in the spring. That's the plan. Also, as the water main project starts to wrap up, it's still my plan to get the pavilion at the complex going. We got to tear the poles that are there out, put the concrete in, so that's still on the plans for this fall, hopefully. Alliant project is wrapping up. They're on Jackson Street today. Should be doing the final tie-ins, and it sounds like by the end of the week they might be out of town. So they still have some work to do. But I'm also talking to them about the areas that they seeded early on, especially on Washington Street, that are kind of weedy and all that. So I'm going to meet with them to make sure that gets all addressed up. I'm going to have the guys sometime this fall start to work on the low-hanging branches and our canopy levels. Some of the trees in town that haven't been trimmed up in a while, we'll try to raise that canopy. There's a few streets that are worse than others, but we'll get that taken care of. I'm also working with Windstream to raise their wires. There's a lot of them through several storms that are starting to scoop down, so we'll get that taken care of. Lisbon grant, I worked with Joe Jennison, and then at the end of last week, Christina helped him with that, finished that up, and that's now posted, so if there's any business in town that, the Lisbon is more for like promoting your business, so like for signage or things like that. It can do some stuff to the building as well, but it's a big promotion of how to get more people to come to your business is what the idea of that is. So anybody that in town that's interested in that, that's posted online, or they could call down to City Hall and get an application. I think that's about it. Happy to answer any questions.
I have nothing, anything? That was a lot.
Have any
so-
questions?
So thank you. All right, item G, council and mayor reports. I can start. Don't really have anything, just congratulations to the fire department for a successful pancake breakfast. Sounds like the greatest one ever. That's fantastic. And thanks to all the volunteer help that they did to help raise that money. And I got nothing else. Mike?
I really don't have anything.
Okay. John?
Red Cedar's going to be performing in Heritage Hall Saturday, the 30th of this month at 11 o'clock. It's a free concert. And I was down to the pancake breakfast. It was excellent. I had stood in line for so long, a long time. The help down there were so helpful and very nice. That's all I have.
All righty. Sarah?
Congratulations to the Purple Corporation for getting the grant. I think it was, what, 6,000?
Yes.
Yeah, 6,000. So thank you for your hard work on putting that all together. Just want to thank the citizens of Lisbon. I know that there's been a lot of road construction going on, the water main project that, as you heard from Dave tonight, it's starting to wrap up slowly. So we're just around the corner. So be a little bit more patient, we'll get there. And then congrats to the fire department. They did a fantastic job. I actually helped with it this year because my husband's on the department, and it's amazing that everybody just has their own little job, like, you know, and everybody works together, and the whole atmosphere, the whole, just the teamwork and team feeling that this whole department has, absolutely amazing. So it's definitely was an honor to be a part of it this year.
All right.
So
Very
that's
good.
all I got.
Thank you. All right, is there any other business? Going once, going twice? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Is that a record?